Ladies and gentlemen, the man to my left over here is entering his 7th season as the head coach for the men's basketball team here with the Lakeland Rustlers. He spent some time earlier this past summer being the assistant coach for the Montreal Alliance in the CEBL League, Sheray Thomas. Sheray, I really appreciate you kind of coming into the studio today and chatting with me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, certainly. Well, first off, let's just, before we go into your time with the Montreal Alliance this past summer, we're going to talk a little bit about your team with the Rustlers here. You guys had a really good year last year. You guys went 9-7. You guys were 3rd in the ACAC North. Obviously, you guys didn't get the results you wanted going down into the postseason there. But now that you have a chance to kind of like look back and reflect on that season, just what did you take away from it?
It was good. It was an up and down year. We had some hurdles that we had to overcome with some players that we had in the beginning. Then we didn't have in the second half. But what I take from that team really is I think they were grit, had a lot of grit and grind. And when it was time to perform, they usually came through.
Yeah, certainly. Well, obviously there was some of those hurdles you kind of mentioned about, it was kind of a COVID season where, teams, couldn't play and postpone games because of, COVID outbreaks and whatnot. But let's talk a little bit about, your time with the Montreal Alliance. You had a chance to kind of be the assistant coach out there this past summer in your hometown. Just what was that experience like for you?
It was great. The Alliance led the league in attendance and apparel sold, so we had great attendance. It was good connecting with some players I played with on a Canadian national team, and some players I know from around just playing. Then also seeing the talent, talent level from a youth sport prospect, from the guys locally, and then from the veteran players that play professionally overseas and D1 players. So it was a great experience, and yeah, the league is growing. Just wrapped up a couple of days ago with Hamilton winning, and from what I've seen, I think there's a couple of players that are going to the NBA. Have signed contracts, and there's a ton of guys that are signing overseas right now. So it's a really good league.
Yeah, having that kind of chance to coach professional basketball players and stuff like that, for you personally, how much do you feel like that kind of helps you when you kind of come back out here and, coach your own team here with the Rustlers?
Oh, no, it helps a lot. I mean, everywhere you go, you try to take bits and pieces, good and bad, from, the situation you're in. So learning from, a good coaching staff where we had coaches from, won championships at youth sport level, coaches that won championships at the professional level. It's a great experience, and, you'll take pieces that you can and try to incorporate in what you do.
Yeah, certainly. Well, obviously, one thing that's going to be kind of coming up here in this upcoming season for you guys as a group is you guys will be playing both teams in the ACAC North and South this year, which is something that hasn't happened in over 10 years now. Just I was kind of talking about that last week with Chris King, but from your perspective, what are you looking forward to most with that opportunity to, constantly face teams from both the North and the South Conference?
It'll be good to see everybody. In a typical year, you don't get to play everybody. And there's guys I haven't played in, probably 5-6 years since I've been here. So it'll be good to see, the overview of the league. Travel will be a little bit different. But I'm definitely looking forward to see everybody, play everybody. And from what I'm hearing, I think the talent level will be up this year as well.
Yeah, certainly. Well, some players that you've had kind of come and go this past off season was Artavis Holiday, who spent the last 5 seasons with the club and whatnot, and then now you've been able to bring in some new players. Just having some players come and then come and go, and just having some new players come in. What do you kind of take away from that, and what are some of the challenges that what are you looking forward to most in this upcoming season here with some new faces? Yeah,
no, we'll definitely miss Artavis Holiday here 5 years. Someone we could, depend on. He's leaving as the all-time leading scorer and rebounder in men's basketball, Lakeland men's basketball history. So, I mean, he's going to be sorely missed out there on the court. We're definitely going to try to incorporate him on the coaching staff this year. So it'll be good to have him around and get his feet wet in the coaching profession. With new guys coming in, we're slated pretty much to have a whole new team, pretty much. Probably 5 returners and probably 10 new players. We'll have some key transfers that have played in the league before. That will definitely help. But it's not really what you see on paper. A lot of times you look at a team and think, okay, this team's gonna be really talented. Just like we see in the NBA. but it takes time to build that trust, get your system, and get that feel for one another. So I'm really excited to get going, but it's going to be you know, a lot more work because, you know, some stuff that, you know, you kind of touch on, you're going to have to spend a little bit more time with new players coming in.
Exactly. But just lastly, before we wrap up here, just coming into this upcoming season here, having a full season, what are your expectations as a coach?
My expectations are always to try to win. You know, we're always trying to, you know, be number one. Last year, you know, towards the end of the year, we kind of, you know, got our footing a little bit and pushed SAIT, who's won the last number of years in the ACAC at their place. We're probably a call or two from actually pulling that game out. So, you know, our expectations is always to try to push for a championship. That's what I tell the guys when I'm recruiting them. I don't think they, you know, wouldn't want to come in if you're saying, okay, we're just trying to make a, you know, a playoff push or trying to win a couple of games. So that's my expectation. Will it happen? Who knows? We'll get in there and do the work and see where things stand. But you know, I'm excited for the team. I think we have some players that can make some noise. Just, you know, it might take a little bit of time.
Exactly. Well, the Rustlers will have a chance to kind of kick off their upcoming season on October 21st against Nate when they hit the road all the way out to Edmonton. So, Sheray, I just want to say thanks again for coming into the studio and talking some Rustlers basketball and just your experience in Montreal with the Alliance. Really appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, thanks. It was fun. Let's do it again.
Yeah, certainly. Thanks again, Sheray. We'll see you guys again in the upcoming season.